Hey guys, so I just wanted to give you a really quick update. I'm really kind of exhausted right now. Um, so I did the mass deliverance again with Pastor Mike and Isaiah, and this one was pretty intense, pretty violent, and thank God I had my little basket here. I did wind up spitting up stuff. It's not like regular vomit though. It's just more like spit, but it's like it comes out like puke. And and this demon started hurting me so bad in the genital area. It was like grabbing like this. And this is going to be very tough for me. I know Pastor Mike said it's much harder to deliver yourself than it is to deliver other people. And it was very, very intense. I saw a massive crying, hysterical crying. So what that means is healing is taking place. And the spitting up, when something goes out, more of the Holy Spirit comes in. So I understand what's happening. It's exhausting, and this thing is hurting me now. And what I actually discovered tonight was there was still some unforgiveness here for my oldest daughter. I went hysterical crying. I mean, screaming at the top of my lungs for that wasn't by accident, for Jesus to forgive me, for my oldest daughter. She had, it's hard to explain, but when I married the psychopath, she was 2 years old. And the psychopath was really nice to her. Like when he would come and visit me when we were dating, when he would come and visit me, he always had a toy for her or something. And that was what I looked at more than how he treated me. I looked at how is he treating my daughter, because her father wanted nothing to do with her. And I had in my mind that we were going to have the Brady Bunch family. So my only thought and what I was watching for very closely was how he treated my daughter. And he knew that. So he would come with, when he came to visit me, he would have a toy for her or something like that, paid her attention and stuff like that. Well, we wound up, after dating maybe a year and a half, almost 2 years, we wound up moving in together. That's when things started to change. She became the scapegoat. And I spent the next 16 years of my life playing referee between her and the psychopath. It got really bad when my youngest daughter was born, and it was such a sick dynamic. It was such a sick dynamic. But I was constantly protecting my oldest daughter because I knew what it was like to be the scapegoat. And when I divorced the psychopath, I found out that she was the one, because she moved in with me, and I found out she was the one going back and telling him everything I was doing, and then she would just sit back and watch him take me to court and watch me come home hysterical crying. It was my own daughter doing this to me. And then when I found out that her sister was a heroin addict, I found out that she was like covering for her. She was enabling her. What I didn't know is that she was an addict too. They hid everything from me. So it was a horrible situation. But and then there was the time that I told you guys that my youngest daughter, she was on the drugs, and her boyfriend at the time was also a drug addict, and he was physically abusing her, and she was 7 months pregnant. He literally choked her till she passed out. And so I was working with the DA, and I was going to testify against him because I witnessed it, and I actually got in between them. And I was bound and determined to put his butt in prison. I said, he's going to kill my kid. And no, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Well, what happened? My daughter turned on me because I was trying to save her life. Very sick, very, very sick. And so I went to my oldest daughter again because my youngest daughter moved out of my house when I wouldn't stop working with the DA. I said, no, he did this right in front of me. They traumatized me. And I said, no, he's going to prison. He's going to prison. And she moved out of my house. She moved in with my oldest daughter. And I went to my oldest daughter. I said, we need witnesses. You've seen him hit her how many times? Are you waiting for him to kill her? And she refused to help the DA put him in prison. And all she said was, I don't want my sister to be mad at me. I was like, what? You don't want your sister to be mad at you? What's better, that she's mad at you or that she's dead? Let's weigh this out. I just couldn't understand it. So there was so many things that I had still in here that I know in the beginning on the dark night of the soul, I totally dissociated from my oldest daughter. There was a point in time that I even tried to force myself to think about her. I couldn't bring her to my mind. That's how hurt I was by her. And I'm in shock now that after all these many years and all this healing I believed I had done, that this was still here. But it came out tonight. And I mean, massive crying, screaming at the top of my lungs. It was, Pastor Mike was casting out the demon of unforgiveness. And I just started screaming. And he said, in order to get this demon out of you, say everybody's name who you need to forgive. So I went down the list of saying names, and I kind of like was, like it was a drizzle. It wasn't a thunderstorm. It was a drizzle, little tears. And when I got to her, my oldest daughter, oh man, the sky opened up. I didn't even know that was still an issue. And I just screamed at the top of my lungs, I forgive. And I said my daughter's name. Jesus, forgive me. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I forgive her. I forgive her. And today was a violent day of trying to get this demon out of me. And the fact that it is starting to really, really hurt me, and that I started throwing up, means it's getting ready to go. And I'm watching a teaching right now on what demons actually are. And that is, in fact, what this is. Demons, in fact, inhabit the form. And this is exactly what this was. And the fact that NITHYANANDA sent this to me, I'm just beyond everything here. I'm just beyond everything here. I can't get back into, see, any kind of negative emotion that I have, it feeds this thing. It makes this thing stronger. I have to remain calm, and I have to remain in a peaceful state. And so every time I start getting a negative emotion, especially now just realizing what all of this stuff actually is, and that NITHYANANDA did this, I have to just keep praying to God that God will do what he sees best, and let it go with that. And I'm going to have to keep doing this more and more and more, but this thing is getting weaker and weaker. And I'm also seriously thinking about getting a one-on-one appointment with Bob Larson. He's the one I posted before. That is, his title that he uses is he's the real exorcist. He's been doing this about 40 years. So this thing is so stubborn that it doesn't want to leave. And I'm thinking that I really need to get a one-on-one with him, and that's probably what I'm going to do, because I'm done with this thing here. I'm done with all of this. So that's the update. If anything else happens, I will let you guys know. I don't even know if you can see it, but I just about took a bath in this oil. I anointed myself. I got oil all over here. Anointed myself here, even in my private area, because this thing was hurting me. So I anointed myself down there. I'm made the sign of the cross down in the genital area, and I'm trying to get this thing. And here's what I want to tell you guys: the thing stopped. It stopped hurting me. So what it says, it's like with this anointed oil and holy water, it actually burns these demons. Anything that is blessed by God, it actually burns these demons. And as soon as I put that anointed oil down there, it stopped hurting me. And I can't be making this stuff up. I had no clue about any of these demon stuff. This is exactly what's happening. So I can't even tell you guys how real this stuff is. And I can just pray that you will listen to me. And this is why I keep making these things out here. I can just pray that you will listen to me and get away from that fake one over there and stop playing in the occult. Because these things are real, and you are going to have to deal with this. This is not fun.